it's showtime! We are going to start with our IFBB Classic Physique Division. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your first group on stage.
All right, guys, welcome back to the 2025 Detroit Pro. We're here with the finals. We got the first group of the Classic Physique competitors. Jay, tell me, what did you see this morning? Who'd you like?
So I was a big fan of Greggo. I was a big fan of Wesley. I think that Greggo definitely has a little bit more size in the legs, but I do like Wesley's look. I find it a little bit more clean.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, no, I think Wesley's polish was really good here. Definitely an improved package from he brought to the Arnold. Greggo looks great here as well.
Yeah.
I think we have a really close battle here, and I think this is going to come down to the finals.
Yeah.
Some other standouts I saw as well. I can't remember his name, but number 4 that we have here as well. You know, obviously very impressive lower body. I think he needs to work on the balance from the upper to lower a little bit.
Yep. I really like Jack Eagle's physique. It's really a nice physique. I wish I had a little bit more size to it, but I mean, the structure is just amazing.
Yeah, the structure is absolutely there. You know, I think a little more time to bring up just the total size everywhere, but keep that shape and that X frame. I think he's someone to really watch in the future.
Matt's midsection is looking very, very good.
Yeah, he looks great.
Those legs on number 4, though, wow.
Yeah, they're really good. Jack Eagles does look a little improved.
Yeah,
Blaze looks better. He looks a little more polished tonight.
Let's bring out our second group of 6 here in the Classic Physique Finals.
As well, number 9.
Yeah,
coming out of the UK. I think he had a really solid showing this morning. You know, a few things I'd like to see him change with his posing, like here.
I don't really like this front relax post on him, but I find every other pose is pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's just
I'd like to see him get a little more open there.
Wesley looks amazing.
Yeah, Wesley definitely coming back tonight, ready to win this show.
Yeah, just
him and Greggo is going to be a great battle here. Just a really great level of polish to his physique. You know, great detail,
just the
great lines.
Lines of separation everywhere.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Jay Yoon looks a little better to me on the far right here as well.
Yeah.
A little improvement this morning. Color's a little bit better. Looks like he dried up a little bit.
Good double buy from everybody all around, really.
He's opening that up a bit better. As we commented on this morning, he wasn't quite getting that open. Looked a little pinched back and kind of ruining the flow of the shot there a little bit for him.
Yeah.
But he's getting that a bit better. So I think if he continues to work on that, that can become a strong pose for him.
Jay really has a nice front relax pose there.
Now I know the judges had it very close between Matt Greggo and Wesley Vissers this morning. So I'm expecting the judges to really work these two here. Let someone earn that victory.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just going to be a 1 or 2 point show. It's going to be a very close one.
So we'll see how much Bill puts him through the paces here.
I mean, Greggo definitely has the midsection.
Yeah, he's got a nice tight midsection with those flaring quads and makes a great shape. But here on this front double, Wesley's lats and shoulders, clavicles are so wide. Great biceps.
I think Greggo's legs have actually gotten better since the morning.
Yeah, he does look a little bit fuller than this morning.
Great side chest from both of them.
Yeah.
Do you prefer Wesley or Greggo's side chest?
I like Wesley a bit in that shot. I think the taller, more statuesque physique looks good. But Matt Greggo's side chest is excellent. Now this is a tough shot because the discrepancies up in bottom, you know, when you look at Wesley on the top, his back is definitely the dominant back here.
Yeah.
Very wide, great detail.
But I mean, even Greggo's glutes, they're so striated, and it's
from the lower body down.
Very apparent in the lower body.
Greggo's very dominant in from the waist down, so that's a tough shot to judge.
I'd have to give this one to Greggo.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that one. Very close shot though. Wesley's clavicle width, like I said, is so impressive. It really helps on that shot.
Crowd's going pretty wild.
Yeah, we got a great crowd here in Detroit this weekend. I really like this classic shot from Wesley.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite poses from him.
All right, so we have Jack, Daniel, Adrian.
This will be the 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
Oh, they're bringing 6 guys out. Yeah, I think in a year or two, Jack Eagles is going to be a dangerous player in the game.
It's a really great structure that I think he can build upon and be a really dangerous competitor.
I find this really difficult to say who's even winning in these because they all have their strengths, they all have their weaknesses. Yeah. It's so difficult.
Number 4 definitely came back a little fuller, a little more polished tonight. Glaze a little better, little added fullness. I think looks good. You know, because his legs are so big, if he's not really full up top, it kind of heightens that discrepancy, right? But they're giving Jack a shot in the middle here as well. I like to see that. Yeah, I mean, Jack's structure is just incredible. Great arms, great V-taper. Really flows nicely.
Yeah, it's a very balanced body.
Very balanced, yeah. Just a little more size everywhere. I think he's in a great track here.
Very nice side chest from number 4.
Yeah, side leg is very impressive.
I'd have to say number 4 is pretty dominant in that one.
Yeah, conditioning in the lower half, you know, hamstrings, glutes are very overwhelming. Back is good, but you still see that discrepancy upper to lower. You know, classic physique, obviously you want to see that balance, but there's so many impressive strengths in his physique that it's hard to deny him in some poses.
Oh, they.
I do like number 3 here, Brock. I think they said his name was on the far right. I think he's got a good structure. I think there's some really good potential in this physique.
Yeah, it's a very clean-looking physique.
We were talking to him earlier. He said he had got sick, had actually got some rhabdo a few weeks out. That, you know, definitely impacted his training and his ability to, you know, really peak as good as he would have liked to for the show. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in other shows where he's, you know, a little less inhibited going into the show, but I think this is still a good showing for him. Great structure.
Yeah, his midsection is very tight.
Yeah, you can just see a little bit of that flatness in the physique. Lost a little bit of pop from not feeling the best the last few weeks.
He's a very nice chest. It's a good back double from him. It's a good midsection for sure.
Your favorite last pose. Relax.
Now, do you think this is 8 to 12 right here?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, yeah. All right, here we go.
They're going to keep working them.
Top two. Bill's going to put him through the paces here a little bit. Now, I put up a poll in my story earlier asking people who they had, and it was very split down the middle.
Yeah.
So a lot of people preferred Wesley, a lot of people preferred Matt, and it is a very, very close show here. You know, both guys have some awesome strengths. Both guys have some weaknesses as well. You know, I really like Wesley's polish. You know, Greggo's level of muscularity, his conditioning is excellent as well. You know, lower body's very strong.
It almost brings you back to the debate, who looks more classic?
Yeah.
Face the rear, back on the watch.
Yeah, this is such a hard comparison.
Yeah.
They're just both heavy on the opposite ends.
Yeah. Yeah, no, of course, you know, Wesley, the time will tell with Wesley is just improving those hamstrings, adductors, glutes, you know, to come up and match that super broad upper body that he has. His back is so wide, lats are so wide. Just to bring that up to match is the, you know, biggest weak point in his physique here.
Do you think in a back double by having a weaker back is the biggest detriment, or do you think that lower body really has a lot to do with it?
If I was going to pick one, I would rather have a bit weaker hamstrings and glutes and have a good back. You know, I find the lower, if you had really good hamstrings and glutes and no back, I think that's going to hurt you a bit more, but Wesley's back is exceptional.
Relax.
That most muscular of Wesley's is wild.
Yeah, I really like that shot. Bill's going to run him through it again.
Side chest.
It almost seems like Wesley tries to inch forward every chance he gets.
Yeah, as he should.
Face the rear, back double.
Do you think if Wesley wins, he'll hang it up for the year like he said he was going to?
Yeah, I think it would be, you know, most advantageous to take the time, keep working on those weak points, and give yourself the best chance you can at the Olympia. But this was definitely a good improvement over the Arnold. You know, he missed the mark a little bit at the Arnold, which obviously must have been disappointing after, you know, being the defending champion. So to come back here with a much better showing, it's good to see.
I'd be very curious to see how he would have done in the Arnold if he had this look.
I mean, it definitely would have been better. You know, Greggo was third, and they're very close here, so it would have been a better matchup. I do love this front lat of Greggo, though, for sure.
It's definitely his signature pose.
Yeah. All right, well, that's a wrap on the confirmation round for the men's classic physique. I'm edging towards Wesley, but I don't think either of these guys is a bad call. Both of them look exceptional. They both really nailed it here, so whatever the judges decide to do, I think is a good call, but I'm...
Require any further comparisons? I do not.
No, it sounds like Bill's made his mind up.
Judge have made the decision.
I mean, I got a good idea. All right, you know what? Where's Matt Greggo? Matt Greggo, where are you at? Between us, how do you think we should break this tie? Break the tie? Or break this, whatever, close result. How do we decide this one? Pose down! All right, hold on. Now, you got that in the American accent. Now we need to get into the very deep announcer European accent. So Wesley, repeat after me. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. It is time. It is time. To pose down. Let's pose down. That's right, get on your feet. Let's do this.
Wesley's got a second career in voice acting.
Yeah. I think everybody likes a good pose down.
Oh, always.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your Classic Physique Top 5.
Great top 5.
I'm still not sure about this one. I honestly, I can't make a confident decision.
No, it's definitely a tough decision for the judges.
Sincerity, ladies and gentlemen. You got your money's worth here today. Prejudging and finals, this Classic Physique lineup, up and down, absolutely flat out brought it here today. So a round of applause for what you saw on this Classic Physique stage. But now, the moment of truth. Please take the 5th place medal and present it to our 5th place finisher tonight, Jack Eagle.
Certainly did have him in 5th.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Jack Eagles.
An improvement from his showing last week, where I think it was last week when he competed.
Please take.
He was outside of the top 5, so it's a good step up for him.
Yeah, I don't think he can go home disappointed.
No, it's a good package.
Alex Kent.
Alex in 4th.
Great look.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Alex Kent. Excellent, excellent job. And now down to the top 3. Please take the 3rd place trophy, the check for $2,500, and present it to our 3rd place finisher, Daniel Fabode.
Daniel in 3rd. Great showing from him.
Very well deserved 3rd place.
Yeah, I agree.
That is a massive trophy.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Daniel Fabode.
It's great to see trophies for the whole top 3, medals for the whole top 5.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth. If we can get Wesley and Matt to the center of the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, before I announce the winner, to inform you, the 2nd place will receive a check for $7,500 as well as a 2nd place trophy. But the 1st place winner will win $15,000, the 1st place trophy, and most importantly, as Seth Perosi joins us on stage to present the winner's trophy, is the all-important ticket to the 2025 Classic Physique Olympia. Man, a lot of nervous energy here.
Here we go, moment of truth.
A lot of love in the room. Please take the 1st place trophy, the check for $15,000, and the all-important Olympia qualification, and present it to our winner tonight,
Matt Greggo.
Matthew
Wow.
And Greggo takes the W. Great close competition between these two guys. Greggo walks away with the win and the Olympia qualification.
And a round of applause
and a nice check for 15 grand doesn't hurt too.
Yeah, it's nice that this division keeps growing and growing, and the prize money keeps getting better.
Absolutely.
I'd love to see the scorecard from this one, because it would have to be very close.
Interested to see where we'll see Wesley next. He's still got to get his Olympia qualification.
Well, I think they did talk about shutting it down for the rest of the year after this, so he might be working on a show next year for his qualification 2026.
Yeah, something later, or maybe something closer to the Olympia.
Now we're going to ask the rest of you to please file off stage. You put on an absolute show here today. The bodybuilding world got an absolute show.
For watching my videos, please like, comment and share, and follow my page Bodybuilding ka Shoukeen.